Manchester United's summer of 2025 is marked by high-stakes negotiations, strategic recalibration, and an urgent quest to repair their misfiring attack after one of the club's sharpest declines in modern memory. With pre-season wrapping up and the Premier League's opening weekend looming, United's transfer focus has zeroed in on launching a final push for a new striker, one considered essential to underwrite manager Ruben Amorim's project and restore belief among fans frustrated by last season's disappointing 15th-place finish. United's urgency is rooted in harsh realities. Last season, a promising squad found itself blunt in front of goal and lacking the cutting edge to turn possession into meaningful results. The departures of key names, including Marcus Rashford, now on loan at Barcelona, have left further gaps in attacking options. New signings Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo were brought in with significant expectation, yet United's hierarchy remains convinced that a natural number 9 is vital to make Amorim's high-energy, pressing system function smoothly. The club's decision-makers, led by technical director Christopher Vival and the Ineos-backed recruitment team, have spent weeks evaluating options. After identifying a lengthy shortlist through extensive data analysis and targeted scouting, the field has narrowed to two leading striker targets: Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins and RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko. Both present contrasting profiles, challenges, and upsides, and the unfolding negotiations around these names now dominate United's backroom activity. Watkins represents the Premier League-proven, ready-now option. At 29 and entering his peak, the England international embodies consistent output, having notched 19 league goals the previous season and offering tireless movement, link-up play, and an aggressive pressing style that aligns with Amorim's tactics. Negotiations with Aston Villa, however, are far from straightforward. Villa's valuation is north of £60 million and they remain publicly unwilling to sell, but United sense the stance could soften as the window draws toward its close. This optimism is tempered by United's own insistence on financial discipline, reportedly unwilling to cross the £50 million threshold and exploring the possibility of including players in part exchange, most notably Alejandro Garnacho, though there are substantial obstacles to this solution. Sesko, by contrast, is seen as a long-term investment in potential. The 22-year-old Slovenian international is coveted for his raw athleticism, goal-scoring instincts, and dynamic growth trajectory at Leipzig, where he scored 13 Bundesliga goals last term. He is viewed as a player who could spearhead United's attack for years and adapt over time to Premier League demands. Convincing Leipzig, however, may require an offer exceeding £60 million with Newcastle United also keen, meaning that United must balance competitive bidding with their overall summer spend, which has already topped £130 million through incomings like Cunha and Mbeumo. Both deals are complicated by United's need to accelerate outgoings. Alejandro Garnacho, Jadon Sancho, Antony, and Tyrell Malacia are all on the market, but so far buyer interest has not matched United's valuations, slowing progress on major incoming purchases. Club officials are frustrated by the sluggish pace of these exits, aware that each departure would free up both wages and critical squad space for additional reinforcements. The Rashford to Barcelona loan is the only significant senior outgoing so far, and more sales, or loan-to-buy arrangements, are desperately required to unlock the financial and regulatory flexibility United needs at this late stage in the window. Allies of Amorim within the club hierarchy remain adamant that the striker signing is the non-negotiable capstone for this window. Despite successive midfield and attacking arrivals, Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, and promising teenager Diego Leon, United's results in pre-season and last term's data confirm that reliable finishing and penalty box presence are the missing ingredients in a team otherwise primed for upward mobility. Amorim himself, who arrived from Sporting carrying the reputation for aggressive, organized, attacking football, has told club media that adding Central European and Premier League experience is essential for the squad to gel and climb the table. Within the squad, the looming arrival of a new number 9 is greeted with competitive resolve. Joshua Zirkzee, who endured a difficult first season after his transfer from Bologna, told international press that additional competition is welcome if it helps United climb back to the top. He echoes a broader squad sentiment that the club's fortunes take precedence over individual concerns, an attitude Amorim is eager to foster as he implements a more rotational, interchanging system. Rasmus Højlund, last campaign's preferred centre-forward, remains in the picture after a mixed debut year, and both Cunha and Mbeumo provide other tactical options as auxiliary strikers or attacking midfielders. Yet none is seen as a specialist marksman who can consistently convert chances in high-pressure games. United's preference is unmistakable: secure a striker before the opening match against Arsenal, a baptism of fire for a side eager to move on from last season's disappointment. The club is actively juggling ongoing discussions with Villa over Watkins and Leipzig over Sesko, staying in close contact with agents, monitoring rival clubs' interest, and exploring swap or player plus cash deals to bridge valuation gaps. Meanwhile, alternative options, such as Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson, have fallen by the wayside, dismissed as too expensive and inconsistent for the outlay required. The broader strategy extends beyond this summer window. United's technical staff are determined to strike a balance between restoring immediate results and not jeopardizing the club's path to long-term squad sustainability. This dual-track approach underpins negotiations and likely rules out the kind of ad hoc, short-term signings that defined previous regimes. United's sizable investments in Cunha and Mbeumo, both 27 and experienced at the top level, mark a shift toward players with both peak-age reliability and future transfer value. Amid managerial and boardroom maneuvering, United supporters are watching closely, their patience worn thin by failed pursuits and unambitious finishes. There is consensus in fan circles that a genuine number 9, capable of both link-up and clinical finishing, would galvanize an attack that too often looked toothless. Amorim remains popular, buoyed by his communication with fans and promises of a fresh start, but he knows that results and clear attacking progress will ultimately determine his longevity at Old Trafford. In parallel to striker negotiations, United continue to monitor the rest of the squad for both incomings and outgoings. Ongoing speculation connects the club with midfielders to relieve pressure on club captain Bruno Fernandes and with further defensive depth. Yet, all signals point to the striker deal as the make-or-break move for this window. It is the signing United hope will both transform their fortunes and demonstrate the strategic seriousness of the new football leadership. This multi-layered push for a new forward encapsulates the challenges facing elite clubs today. Fierce competition from domestic and European rivals, balancing financial fair play imperatives, and committing to a long-term vision over short-term quick fixes. For United, the outcome of these weeks of negotiation may well decide not just the next campaign, but the credibility and success of the Amorim era. As the clock ticks down, meetings and calls continue at pace, with Villa and Leipzig keeping a hard stance but with United quietly confident that player preference, and a willingness to compromise on structure, can deliver their top candidate. Whether it is Watkins or Sesko who ultimately arrives at Old Trafford, their signing will stand as both a symbol of new intent and the critical final piece in an attacking puzzle that must find solutions if United are to re-establish themselves at the summit of English football. In sum, Manchester United's striker pursuit in summer 2025 reflects the high-wire act of rebuilding a global giant, blending fiscal prudence with ambition, chasing proven and emerging talent, and working against time and rival suitors. For fans and neutrals alike, the final weeks of this transfer window offer drama, tension, and the promise, as yet unfulfilled, of a new era, the next chapter to be written by whoever leads the line at Old Trafford.